It's because I'm the only actor who is willing to stand up. I said that. I already have a proof.
All right, go. Motion to start the meeting.
That was this microphone. Maybe talk from there.
Our first item today is a welcome introduction of new members and guests. So if anyone's new here, could you please come up to the mic and introduce yourselves? Is there no one?
Are there any new people here today? Yeah, if you can come up, say your name, grade, and high school.
No, it's still going. Sorry. What's that?
My name is Hasni.
I don't know. Let me see.
Okay, my name is Hasni. I go to Mountain House High School and I'm in ninth grade.
All right, welcome.
Our next agenda item is the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you could all rise up for the. Is there anyone in the audience, like in Zoom, who wants to introduce themselves?
All right. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, so our next agenda item is we're gonna discuss different ways of promoting Yak. So like advertisement and all that stuff.
Okay, so first of all, the first idea we had is like starting the Instagram page back up. So actually, we do have a Yak Instagram page, but I think it is like 8 followers. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's like 8 followers and like nobody really knows about it. So we're just gonna try to start that back up and post announcements on there, I guess. Is there any other ideas for
Instead of just posting announcements, I think we also post photos of the events if we could. I think that'll bring more people in as well.
Yeah, I mean, recently for the academics program, I actually took we took like a picture, and we showed. And I remembered I sent to Miss Tingle, and then I think Miss Tingle, didn't you like suggest like putting it on the newspaper or something? Yeah, I agree. I mean, what's it called? The newspaper is a really good way of reaching out to people. And also, actually, a lot of the advertising we get is through academics. So I guess it's two birds with one stone. Are there any other suggestions on how to promote Yak?
I have a question. Have we used the Facebook groups before, like the ones that community members use? Next week. Yeah, I think we should continue with that form of advertisement. Sorry, I hope we can, or I think we should continue with that form of advertisement.
Right, we do have some people taking over what she did, but Angel now is mostly doing recreation reservations on a part-time basis. So they are rearranging other staff members and, figuring out who's going to be taking over that task.
Okay, so can you put that down as a follow-up item for myself, the co-chairs and CSB staff?
Yeah, okay, so we got 3 ideas down so far. We got the newspaper, reviving the Instagram page, and reutilizing the Facebook page as well. Which probably is a smart idea considering like a lot of parents use Facebook, so it's probably a good way to advertise to like more of like the middle schoolers. Any other suggestions or ideas?
Could we do school announcements like on the speaker thing?
I mean, we did flyers in the school before, but it really didn't help because no one looked at the flyers and they were all the way in the back of the classroom.
In terms of certain middle schools, I think I believe Cortez worked quite well because I think one of our people here, Paris, his sister, is one of the teachers, so we got quite a few students from her. But for the high school, saw a lot of the posters got like taken down, and like it wasn't very, yeah, it wasn't like great for like advertising poster wise, like for the high school, but for some middle schools it was okay. So
Yeah, I mean, I can't say much about like the middle schools, but to be honest, like if we do want to advertise more at the high school, then it would probably be smart if we push a lot more on the fact that like you get a lot of community hours out of it, because most high schoolers are like trying to, I mean, first of all, you need at least 40 to graduate, but like there's a lot of overachievers who want to get like 300 hours, 400 hours. And like if we do announcements or something like that, then like it would probably be smart if we push on the fact that you can get a lot of community hours out of it. And it's probably a good way to get a lot of high schoolers. But I mean, do we know how to get it on the announcements? There's a spreadsheet. Okay, yeah. Does anyone know if it costs money or anything? No? Okay, yeah. So we could potentially try advertising to like the high school and maybe the middle schools. I'm not sure about the process for the elementary middle schools. Okay, yeah. So that's probably a smart idea. We'll check back up on that.
You know, my phrase, keep it simple. I can't believe I'm not talking loud. Keep it very simple. But let's explore the idea of what schools would be able to announce. That's an excellent idea that would take follow-up, and the council, you guys can talk about at the various schools, maybe assign a point person to check with the schools regarding the announcement, and we'll be here to support you to push that forward. Because you get sound bites in folks' ears.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, flyers didn't work out too well for us, so probably announcements I feel would be a lot more successful. Thank you, Saad, for the idea. No.
I think another way we can advertise is there's a lot of WhatsApp groups for communities. We could send flyers and pictures in there to advertise. A lot of parents are in there.
Yeah, I think we talked about the WhatsApp group like a few months back. I don't think anyone ever did that. So
I mean, the Mountain House High School Parents Group is a good way to advertise.
I also noticed that a lot of times if you go into Starbucks, you see groups of students studying, so that might be a place to put a poster or something.
We can post something over there. I can look into it and get back to you guys.
All right, so just to recap, so we got the Mountain House Matters newspaper, reviving our Instagram page, reviving the Facebook page, and MHHS announcements, as well as potentially the elementary middle school announcements. And then advertising on WhatsApp groups. Any other final ideas?
We could also look into putting our advertisement on the advisory slides and like the mass email that goes out every week. And if you want, I can help with that.
For like anyone here who's not in high school, like the advisory slides, like every week, there's like a slideshow, which like basically all the high schoolers have to like look at. So yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea, like looking at it through there, because it'll probably get to a lot of people. And you said you could help with that? Okay, yeah, so.
Your name, rank, and serial number.
All right, it seems like we got a good amount of ideas for advertising.
Can I ask, was Angel in charge of Instagram too? Okay.
All right, so our next agenda item is discussing the committee position assignments.
all right, so we haven't really had the time to look at the slideshow yet because there were more responses than we expected. So we'll look at that and like get an email sent out with the positions on a doc, I guess. So like maybe in this week or like.
Yeah, I mean, there was like 50 something responses. So we got to look through them all and then find out the number of people who should go into each committee. Because we decided not like everyone will get into their subcommittee, right? I mean, we don't need 50, we don't need like 40 people in marketing. Yeah, so we'll probably check up on that soon. I know like we did like the survey thing like over a month ago, but we just haven't had the time. So most likely by like the end of this week, we'll try to send out emails letting everyone know which committee they've been put into, or if they're in the general like YAC committee.
All right, so our next agenda item is discussing the summer program.
So for those of you who don't know, our one of our main events is the YAC Summer Program, and it's traditionally it's a 5-week program with different themes, and it targets K through 8 students, and we teach them ideas like health and safety. We go into sports, technology, occupation, and each one of those is typically run by like a head lead. And we have different community organizations partner with us, such as the fire department. We have people with maybe unorthodox occupations like surgery, like people who are surgeons, football players, things like that. So just to show these kids like a new side of the community that they haven't seen before. So that is something that we're gonna have to start getting into soon. So typically the breakdown of it is we usually decide on head leads around this time, and then we work into creating, we have this spreadsheet where we work on creating timelines from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Single, it was starting at 11 o'clock or 10, 11 to 2. So that's 3 hours. And then I think we have like a 30-minute lunch break. So that's something that we prepare for. We prepare budget, we prepare backup plans, just anything in case, in case something goes wrong, because a lot of it is just prepare and execution. And right now, the main thing is deciding on themes. We'll discuss what has worked in the past, what hasn't worked, and then probably head leads to work on the projects. And so a lot of commitment, but if you guys need any help, then us on the committee, we can always help you.
Could you repeat those groups again, those 5 weeks? And then also state to let them know that what had entertained in the past, that we normally meet from 10 to 2, 3 days a week. I mean, 11 to 2.
11 to
At
2,
one
yeah.
time it was 10, but you guys can decide on whether you want 4 hours or 3 hours. And what 5, repeat again, the last 5 categories that we have programs around, but it is 3 days a week. And Monday, I think we did Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Yeah. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's typically, and the timing for it is usually beginning to mid-June and cuts to mid-July. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to 2. And the locations for it kind of depends on what your event is going to be. So health and safety, for example, fire department, you're going to need usually a big space. Like I think we used the Wickland gym at one point. And then for example, sports, we use Central Park. So it just kind of depends. And you have the freedom if you're a head lead or if you're working in each week to make that decision. So
we had technology, right? And
yeah,
then
we
you
had
said
technology week,
occupational.
occupation week, health and safety week. We had sports week. There was one more.
Business.
Science. Did I already say science innovation? Science innovation, I believe.
Was it
But
science innovation?
That was the technology, though, so I think there's another one. I think technology was separate.
I know one year we had Google and they gave a presentation on how to prepare yourself. So that was more or less occupational and business.
yeah,
And there's
so
various things that fall under that. But what was the 5th one? Oh, I know what, we used to have arts and crafts, but I think we mixed it.
I mean, I think we can go back in arts and crafts. I think it was relatively successful.
I think we did arts and crafts week last year. I don't think we did occupation week. I think we got rid of occupation. And sports week too. We only did 3 last
That was
year.
because we did a modified program. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, last year we were pressed on time, so we had to make a modified summer program where we only did 1 day, and that lasted for like 4 or 5 hours at Central Park, and we had a lot of students come in, like anywhere between 30 to 40, and we just basically filtered them in from the farmers market, so it was relatively successful. So I know you guys haven't experienced summer program, but I think boiling down to it, we're probably gonna have to choose the weeks. So try to give a summary of each one. Health and safety, we went over things like for fire department, they came in and they did CPR training. They did something else on the second year. What was it? Yeah, the bomb squad, police, yeah, the sheriff's department brought in the drones and they showed it all around to the kids. We focused on
Also the horses.
Well, yeah, sheriff's department also brought in the horses just for the kids to see. We focused on aspects such as nutrition for the kids, because keeping a healthy diet, things like that. Yeah, so basically, we basically use health and safety as a way for if the sheriff department or the fire department has something that they want to give or tell the community, especially the kids or even the parents, this is their opportunity to do so. So that's probably a week that's most likely gonna stay because it's been one of our biggest staples and it's like usually our kickoff week since we have all of our major events and partnerships going on. Aside from that, I think our second most successful week would be, was it sports or?
Are we talking about last year?
No, we're talking about the original years.
The sports was pretty good. However, one of the things is that the first 2 years that we had it, it was not during the pandemic. So the last couple of years, it's been really modified. So we cut back on the times that we probably only meet an hour and it was Zoom. But now since that is kind of a little bit behind us, this is the year that I think we want to focus on going back in full steam ahead, which means that we'd have 3 days and you could develop and get more interaction and all of you would have a chance to really interact, help with the younger people and also develop your own leadership skills. So, just expand your minds like you've been doing in the past and think about the things that you think that would be beneficial, not only for yourselves, but beneficial for the younger kids that they can learn from. There is a young lady that's here tonight because we do have on the agenda the summer program that would like to introduce an idea that she has that her group would like to speak to for one of the weeks. And that would either fall under occupational or technology.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am delighted to see so many young people here discussing business and just listening to a little bit of your summer program. I'm excited, and I guess you all are too. Let me say this again. My name is Mary Kennedy Bracken, and my business is actually TYPP, and the acronym stands for Turn Your Passion into Profit. Have you ever heard of entrepreneurs? There's probably some in here already. So that's what we do. We work with entrepreneurs and we put on workshops and we talk to you about how to create your own business. Does anyone in here know Bill Gates? Do you know what he created? There you go. Didn't it change your life? Everybody's using their cell phones now and technology. That made a difference. Does anybody in here know about Steve Jobs? What did he do? How many in here have an Apple phone? Most of you. Well, that's what we do. And do you know that they're entrepreneurs? Well, Steve Jobs was, but he has a history. They changed the world just by technology and the things that they do. And entrepreneurs actually have a passion. They have a passion for something. And when you have a passion and excitement, guess what you do? You keep doing it until it works. Well, that's what we do. We put on workshops and we talk to you about entrepreneurship. We talk to you about creating things and having a passion. And we pull those things out of you. We try to find out what it is you like to do, what you enjoy. So I would like to be a part of your leadership to come in and talk to you during the summer program about entrepreneurship. Now, let me ask you, what would I have to do to get on your list?
I mean, I guess you're on it right now.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, again, my business is TYPP, Turn Your Passion into Profit. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm enjoying listening to all of you this evening. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Tingles, for inviting me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have one question for you, Ms. Brackett. So for your TYPP project, do you think that's something that you can cover in one day, which would be 3 hours, or would that be something that would come across multiple days?
Thank you for the question. It all depends on how extensive it is, but we can do a 1-day program or we can do a 3-day program, depending on how you put us on the schedule.
Okay,
Okay?
sounds perfect.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll most likely just come down to like how many like other people we might get for the occupation week, and then like we will probably distribute the time off of that. On that topic, actually, for the occupational week, does anyone have any like contacts who they know of who could like possibly come and like just talk to the kids for a certain amount of time about their like job or whatever, and like I don't know, encourage it or just talk to them?
So, recently in the high school, for my business class, there was a real estate agent and his name is Drew Jacobson. And he's pretty popular in Mountain House as an agent. So he was like really inspirational and I think he could have an impact on our kids, like at the camp.
Do you think you could potentially like through like your business teacher just somehow get like contacts to him? Okay, so he's a real estate agent? Okay, yeah. Okay. Are there any other people who have contacts?
One of the gentlemen in Rotary contacted me and a couple of months ago, contacted me and said, you know, he noticed that we had summer camp and would it be possible if the group would be interested in having him come in and talk about investments, saving money, because it has to start someplace. And that's a good opportunity because it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make. In budgeting and managing, living within your means. So he said that if the group would be open, he'd like to just, you know, and these things start very young. Tell you a story later. I threw my daughter into shock at 8 years old. By the time she finished high school, she had already had IRAs done. It's that early on experience that you get in saving and investing in yourself. So if that might be, it might be a good idea for you guys to entertain talking to people when they're young about money management, and let your money work for you.
For sports week, I know how to get like someone to do basketball. I can speak because my coach, he's been in the NBA drafts, so he's a pretty good person. And I think I could get him to do this 1-day thing. Markeen Chandler.
Yes, go on.
I believe Andy Sue is actually open to providing a lesson on personal financial literacy. He actually contacted us when we were doing investing club, and he told us that he's open for it. So if you guys want to talk to him about that. He does do it.
Tom Kelly is the gentleman that said he would like to talk about investment and finance. And Andy Sue is good, but Andy's calendar is Mr. Dr. Sue's, Director Sue's calendar can get real busy. Being available to come in and talk.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? Me and Rishi can potentially like ask him like tomorrow or something. But yeah, we have a lot of business stuff on our.
Can I suggest one more person? You, Director Tingle, you need to speak up also.
On what?
On how to run the government, what these guys should look up when they grow.
When people figure out the appropriate way for government to run effectively, then maybe I'll speak. But right now.
Because they need to understand how this is run, how taxes are allocated, what is incorporation, what are the benefits and no benefits of incorporation.
More appropriate for the adults.
Adults, that's a lot on them. I think something you guys should think about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at least we have some level of diversity for the, as they call it, like the, what's it called? What's it called again? What's the thing? The entire week. The occupation week. Yeah, at least we have some level of diversity with the occupation week, you know, bunch of business opportunities and then government. Does anyone else know like a more like something like far out there, just something, anything, anyone which is like not business related by any chance?
So before we get into that, I just wanted to say that from past year's experience, our demographic, even though it's K-8, it's mainly been anywhere between the K through 4th grade area. So that's just something you want to keep in mind. Anything too complicated might cause them to lose focus. Obviously, demographic that has the potential to change depending on how we do advertisement, but that's just something you want to consider when making these programs.
When we first started, I think, started with, I think it was 2nd through 12th grade, or second grade through 8th. You, as a group, can decide whether or not you want to drop back to kindergarten or K, starting that young. And I know that the year that we entertained K was because people were bringing their younger brothers and sisters. And so we were like, no offense, like glorified babysitters. So you might want to evaluate the value of having kindergarten kids when your topics are going to be vast, because this could work for all age groups. It can work for those who are in grade school, but the benefit is for everybody. It can work for your volunteers. It can work, you can learn and benefit from some of the things. So it could be a value-added process for everyone who attends. So everyone gets something out of it. So you might want to evaluate if you want to start at kindergarten.
Yeah, I mean, so as I was saying, also the demographic was, you said 2 through 8 for the demographic, for like the age range.
When we first started it was, I think we started at least 2nd grade.
Okay.
But then there was one year that people were bringing young kids, and because of the soft hearts that we do have, we said, okay, you can start at kindergarten.
I think that's what happened was in our very first year, we advertised 2nd through 8th grade, but then the kindergartners just showed up, so we just accommodated anyways.
I think we could potentially advertise certain days for certain age groups, and like that could help bring like the right target audience.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, like, since it is like a week-long thing and we're planning 3 days, we could probably have like, for example, like Monday for like very like basic stuff for the little kids. Well, we could advertise more like complex or like jobs to high schoolers potentially, who might be like looking to go into that field in the future. Yeah, more towards like, the Friday or whatever. So it's definitely, I think, worth it if we distribute the days based off of like the complexity of the topic.
That's a good upgrade. Very good upgrade.
All just depends on how many people we get.
Thank you, and that's a very upgrade. You can make anything possible if you work together as a team and make it happen.
So far, we have covered health and safety, occupation week, and briefly on sports week. So I think the main 2 that are left are arts and crafts and science innovation. So for science innovation, that's a topic that that's a week that I want to say that we had a high hopes for in the past, but like because it's more of a older age group kind of topic, like going into even basic things like block coding, like some kids just get it, some kids just don't. Like that's just how we've seen it because they've been exposed to it as an early age. That's just very hit or miss. So I just kind of wanted to bring up, is that something that we maybe want to switch out?
Okay, so a lot of high schoolers are starting FTC teams. I don't know if you guys ever heard of those. So basically they're like robotics, you make a robot and you go compete. But in the same program, there's also a junior section and they call that FOL and stuff. So I feel like a lot of teams would be interested in coming to the camp and introducing FLL for the little kids. Because this is for like 2nd to 8th graders. There's events for all of those ages.
What if we have like, for like the older age audience, what if we have like clubs like HOSA or DECA do like tiny presentations, because it would be more exposure for the clubs and they kind of need it at times.
I don't know if we could ask Jose or Deca, maybe Deca. Carl, what do you know about Deca? Do you think we could ask Deca? No, for like science innovation. HOSA? Anyone here in HOSA? Yeah, it wouldn't really work. What HOSA?
Excuse me, that sounds great, but what is DECA? When you use the acronym, could you say what it means and then use the acronym later? You know, just say what it means and then use the acronym.
Carl,
So
would you like to
everyone-
explain?
Okay, I don't think Deca would work for science innovation then. Oh, wait, innovation, I guess. It could work.
Does anyone here like have any potential contacts into HOSA for us to like possibly organize anything? Okay, yes, all right. So I guess we'll contact HOSA to see if they would like to come out. Is this for
Science innovation.
for science? Okay.
For last year, I remember that we did, was it bridge building and catapult building?
Yes.
I think that was good with the kids, right? We
That
need more
was
weight.
really popular, especially when the prize pool was announced and everything. Which one was that under? Science and innovation?
Yeah, that was science innovation.
Yes, like that's, I guess, like under the engineering category. No, that was like really successful too, making like all the kids like were given certain parts.
Yeah, we give them straws, I think popsicle sticks, tape. No, we gave them popsicle sticks. That was the issue. No, there was no string.
And then, yeah, they competed to see who made the strongest bridge and they won money if theirs was the most, so.
That was exceptional. We got a lot of buy-in from a lot of people with the catapults, and it was really good. And that was under science innovation,
Yes.
but that was very successful. And you, it was participants, and you did break it up into age ranges. Younger people, the middle, and then the high school level. And sometimes you have to build upon your successes, and that was successful.
Also, last year we had the idea for paper airplanes, I think, but we did it outside last year and it was really windy. So I think we got rid of that, right?
So I believe if we had maybe an indoor space, we could bring back a possibility of airplanes, things like that. Something very simple that the kids can make on the spot and that we could teach it to them.
Yeah, we had like worksheets for like the bridges, like instructions. I think I made
Yeah,
one.
We
He
made like
made-
personal
yeah.
worksheets on how to do it, like the science behind it.
Yeah, we did the same for the airplane too.
Could you also explain to the group the areas that are set aside for us to to meet and work with the various activities that we come up with? The areas that we use, we could use the CSD building here. We use the park.
Yeah, we can use CSD, we can use Central Park. We can even reach out to one of those schools and use their indoor facilities like a gym if we want something big and open. Was there anything besides that?
Well, the time that we reached out to the schools, when we needed little classrooms, it was before the CSD building, before this building was built. But now that we have this building, there's classrooms that we could, I should say classrooms, there's rooms that we can use. We can use this room because it's our facility. We can use the foyer. And there may be other rooms depending on what we come up with. When we used the schools before, you know, Ms. Tingle, the budgeteer, when we were using the schools before, we had to pay dearly to use the classrooms. So I would get away from renting space at schools because it was into thousands of dollars. Your parents' dollars, my dollars. We ain't going that way anymore, okay? Thank you.
I was also gonna bring up the fact that we could use the library, like the makerspace, how we've been doing for the summer program. If we wanna have that for tables mainly.
This building, but schools we want to kind of deter from them because, you know, and not just your dollars, you know, I make this joke, but I'm really serious. However, in using the schools, what happens is that you have to, it's not only the liability that has been extended, and that's a whole different subject, but it's also the fact that there's the janitorial expense, you know, because sometimes, believe it or not, we do drop paper and we leave things around, not intentionally, but it just happens. Maybe some dust gets on our shoes, but somebody has to come in and clean up. So that's where a lot of this expense comes in.
So one important thing about the summer program, which we should probably cover up on, is that obviously everyone here is gonna partake in making it happen. So just to get like a general head count, so we have a general idea, we're gonna like list each of the what's it called, weeks and what they're based around, and like just like raise your hand if you'd be interested in helping out for that week. Gosh, you understand? Like,
All right, so first week is occupation week, so that was the one with the business stuff, I'm pretty sure. So is there anyone who'd like to help out with that one?
Anyone interested in helping out with occupation week?
Count the one first.
Huh?
Count the,
Just tally on my document.
yeah. All right, so which, yeah,
What's the next one? What's the one? Bro, just count the number. You need- All right, keep your hands raised for a minute. He's typing as fast as he can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Okay. Just keep writing, bro. Yeah. Okay. All right. You guys can put your hands down. What's the other one's next one? Next week. Sports. All right. Who would like to help out for sports week?
oh my, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, about the same.
thanks 11.
Huh?
Thanks 11.
I don't care. I'm good. It's the same amount.
Can you count, bro? What do you
What's the
count?
next one? All right, science and innovation. Who'd like to help out with science and innovation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, nice. It's like 11.
Health and safety.
Health and safety.
Who was I expecting? Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. All right, so we got like, I don't know, like 6. And by the way, you guys can help out in multiple if you want. It's just extra work for you. So
Yeah, good luck.
whatever you want, whatever you would like to do.
Okay, who would like to help out for arts and crafts?
1, 2,
Me too. Oh, Shana. Okay, Shana.
12. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I added you on the number. Okay, so that's useful. So now we have a general idea of what week is popular, which one's not. Huh? It's just we have a general idea. So we can organize it accordingly. We'll probably give more information out in the recap email. Probably a form would probably be kind of useful for this. And probably by the next meeting, we should aim to start like really splitting up everyone into like their individual roles within each week. Did we cover like basically did we cover all of the? Oh yeah.
No. That's it, the dates, thank you.
Gosh, what time like in the previous years, like when do we usually have the summer program?
June 14th?
I mean, last year we only did it for a single day, right?
It was was 3 hours, yeah.
Last year was in July.
Oh, what, since it is a 5-week program, what about starting the week of June the 12th?
First week of June, if you want to get in.
Well,
So if you had June the 12th, the 19th, the 26th, and then we shut down for Thanksgiving week. I mean, excuse me, everything's Thanksgiving to me. We shut down for 4th of July. Correct? You know, you have to listen to what I mean, not what I say.
So it would start on June 12th and there'll be 3 days per week, right? For 5 weeks?
yeah, for 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah, July 4th.
Skip through, okay. I'm just throwing this out. If we went 5 consecutive weeks. it would
So
be-
are you looking at the week of June 12th to July 17th, assuming we skip July 4th week?
Okay, it would be June, the week of the June 12th, June 19th, June 26th. Skip the week of July the 3rd. And then it would be, look like July the 7th, excuse me, July the 10th and July the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sooner, like the earlier in summer, we try to do it, the better, because a lot of us are becoming seniors, kind of focused on like college apps and stuff. So probably like the earlier in the summer we can do it, it would probably be smarter.
So is July, is June 12th starting too late or too early? What do you-
I
what do you-
think
what
I
does
think
the
it's
group
about
think?
right. I guess we can vote on it. Are you guys fine with, what's the date? What's the date range? Huh? Okay, all right. Yeah, so from June 12th to July 17th, raise your hand if you guys are fine with that date, or thumbs up. Sure, thumbs up if you're fine with it, or thumbs down if you hate it. I mean, if you guys are traveling or just like unable to help out for certain parts, just like email one of the council members, I guess.
So since we're low on time, we're gonna go into our next agenda item, which is future agenda items.
So I think one thing we already covered is we need to focus, we used to, start doubling down on the summer program since it is a 5-week program. So I think one of the things I mentioned is we have to start, next month, we'll start splitting down each individual week with the people who signed up for it. So we'll send out a form with the recap email and we'll split everyone up. And then we'll start breaking down like who's gonna lead each of the weeks and then what council member will overlook them, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so what else?
I was thinking we could bring the haunted house back because, I mean, we need like a little more like outreach, like into the community. And plus, haunted houses are always like a banger's, like the one at my school personally made like $500, $600 off that. So we could do that again. And it would be great advertisement into the community. But the only problem is that we need to like get started soon because this takes at least 6 months planning, according to Ms. Tingle.
I don't know if we could take money because are we under the CSD? So we'll be allowed to like.
We
have
can't take money, but we
entry?
could do, I think we could do a hunt. Ms. Tingle, wasn't that, that one time when you had one like the old members like come and like speak to us, didn't they do a haunted house?
Yes, they did. In fact, Satish Shaw, he was part of the haunted house. There's still some of the people who can come back who worked on the haunted house. And there's still, that's the joy of documentation, because in the archives, there is the notes on what made that successful. One of the things that I do recall on that is that we got a lot of buy-in from parents. There was from the local farmers in order to create one event. It was amazed that they brought in bundles of hay from some of the farms. So there was a lot of things that were brought in. There were just different ideas that were thought about. We could look in the records to see what was done, but that took a lot of planning, took a lot of person hours, and it took the help of a lot of the adults that had to haul in things. But it is a lot of planning and buy-in. And at that time, Mountain House was a lot smaller then. We're going back probably about, I want to say 10 years.
Okay, since we are running short on time, we'll just do a quick vote to see, like, if you guys are interested in us, potentially doing a haunted house for like the October time, just raise your hand. All right, okay. I think we have a general idea. So yeah, I guess we'll start tackling both of those projects. The haunted house will take a lot of planning, so it's good that we're like starting now. Yeah, we'll leave most of the details for that for the next meeting, but since we do have notes from what made it successful, that should make it slightly easier.
And that's why it's so important when we do things to do an analysis afterwards for the key learnings, what worked, what didn't work. And you could use that tool throughout your life. When you get in corporate America, whatever you're doing, you always want to grow from the things that worked well and then make notes so you're able to tell folks later what did not work well so you don't duplicate or make the same mistakes.
Okay, so our next agenda item are public comments.
Are there any questions for anything we've discussed so far?
Who would like to report out, by the way, for the, what's it called, the meeting next? Tomorrow. Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, it's for tomorrow.
Next week.
Touch to the board. Saad, would you like to do it? Okay, all right. Do you know how the procedure goes, Saad? Do you know how the procedure goes? Have you done it before? Okay, well, we'll run you through it. That's all right. You'll love it. Are there any other public comments? Anything?
So motion to adjourn.
All right, thank you all for coming today.